to the Red Stars and AFC pregame press conference. We have Alyssa Naeher, Coach Lorne, Donaldson, Coach Albertin, Montoya, and Kayla, Sharples, Chicagoland native, and AFC defender. We have a hybrid press conference today, so we're going to start with questions in the room and then move to folks virtually. So, everyone kick us off. Leslie?
Alyssa, you've played on a few baseball fields in your day. Can you speak a bit about the collaboration between players and the teams to just kind of make today happen?
Yeah, a few of us came out a couple months ago when this was kind of being first discussed about, obviously, something that we as players have fought very hard for is to not be playing on baseball fields and progress towards that. But obviously, this is a very unique opportunity for players and coaches and the Red Stars in the city of Chicago, honestly, to have obviously a really unique opportunity for history. So we came and we had a lot of conversations. We walked through our experiences as players on what has worked and what hasn't worked when you overlay certain areas of a baseball field. So the grounds crew was great. They were taking a lot of notes. They were very attentive and wanting to make sure it was done right. And I trust that they're going to do a good job with it. And I think it's going to be, obviously it's Wrigley Field, it's an iconic venue. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere, amazing experience. And we're excited for it. But I think they're going to they're taking it really seriously and going to put the best product out there.
And for Kayla to make your return to the city of Chicago and have it be at Wrigley Field, just what does that feel like?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm really excited just to be back in my city. Just landing yesterday, I just, felt like a little lift, a little bit more energy, a little bit more positivity. So it's just great to be back home, to be able to have then this game be at Wrigley Field, so not just at SeatGeek. I'm just pretty lucky that it happened to be that Bay FC was playing here. So I'm just really excited for this opportunity. Like Alyssa said, Wrigley Field is just an iconic and historic stadium. There's just so much history that's gone along it, and along with that, there's been so much excitement, just so much interest and engagement through audiences. So I'm hoping that with this game being played here, we'll just continue to see the women's sports grow, the interest and love of this game of soccer grow, and the city of Chicago just to be in support of women's soccer moving forward.
For you, Alyssa, having been with the Red Stars as long as you have, is this kind of opportunity something you could have even imagined when you came in maybe your first couple of years with this team? And what does it mean to have new ownership kind of putting all of this together for the team?
Yeah, I mean, to put it into perspective, which I don't even think Kayla was here yet, but my first year we were training in Oak Brook on polo fields with my trunk of my car was my locker room. So we've come a long way. So now to have the opportunity to play, obviously here at Wrigley, is certainly not something that I had on my bingo card of things that were going to happen in my time here in Chicago. But Laura's come in and she's worked hard. She's tried to make a lot of changes and meaningful changes. And I think, some things are seen, some things are going to take a lot more time. It's a big project of the overhaul and everything else. But I think just the general excitement of having someone like Laura, the connection to Chicago, the connection to, she's very passionate about the team, very passionate about women's sports. And you can see that just in how she goes about her day, how she interacts with the players and the team. And I think she's committed to making this one of the best clubs in the league and in the world. And I think that, we're really excited to have her. And again, now to play at Wrigley Field and have that opportunity is going to be something really special.
And just a quick follow-up, how are you feeling? How have you been progressing over the international break?
Feeling good. Been working hard every day to keep making progress and doing everything I can to get back on the field.
Lorne, just young squad, you've got Alyssa as a leader, but with all the hype around this match, how do you ensure that when it comes to the match tomorrow, everyone's really on the mark and on focus?
I think when you kick the first ball, everybody's, back to normal. But, it's been a lot of hype around it, which is great. It's great for the game to see, the growth of the sports. And, as I told the players, there's going to be a high and a low. If you're too low, then, you're not into it. You got to find that middle ground, where you can find your comfort zone and, get ready to play. So I think players both teams is excited. It's a iconic place to play football. So we're gonna just try to get after it.
Kayla, if I could ask you quickly, last year, working your way back from the injury, now consistent minutes, where's your confidence level in your game compared to, when you were working your way back last year?
Yeah, I think every single game I'm getting more confidence. I think going into this new season with the new club, there were so many firsts that I was able to accomplish with the team, and I think that automatically gave me like a new foundation and a new sense of self-belief and confidence. And I think everything that the coaching staff and the front office staff have done for the club is something that I really wanted to buy into. And then when you're laying that foundation, and I wanted to be a part of it, it's kind of hard not to have that extra positivity and that belief. So I think that new fresh start has given me that, and every single game still. It's been rocky at times for sure as a club, but I think every single day just trying to be consistent and have that consistency in the back line and just trying to be a leader in any way I can and help the team be successful is helping me as a player as well.
Jory and then Claire.
Alyssa, you touched on just the atmosphere in general. Obviously, a match that could be setting a league attendance and seeing a lot of support women's sports shirts. Just can you touch a little bit more on the significance of this event even happening now and what it means for the teams to be a part of it?
Yeah, I think you're seeing just across the women's sports landscape in the last 6 months, in the last year. Even you look at the NCAA women's basketball tournament, WNBA selling out stadiums, the NWSL even last year with obviously San Diego and those teams coming in has had. Portland's always had great crowds out there, but I think you can see the support is growing, and I think it's been something really fun to be a part of and to see around the league and around the world. And you look in Europe and all the sellouts that with Champions League games and league games and international games as well. Obviously, the World Cup last summer was, again, a lot of support around that, and I think now we want to see that even more here in the NWSL. We want to kind of continue that momentum, and I think this is a great opportunity to see that and to prove and to show that the city of Chicago can support and can show up and have fun at the game. And I think we're around 25,000 so far. I think obviously the goal is to get up in around 30 or try to set a record. And I think it's almost like a fun competition of teams of trying to set the attendance records. It's like you're always just kind of trying to do that, but I think it's great. I think it pushes each team to continue to invest and continue to make opportunity for moments like this. And I think it's just great to see the growth of women's sports in general, and specifically women's soccer, obviously.
This is for both coaches. The expected narrowness of the pitch tomorrow, is that something that affects the way you approach the game tactically, or is it more just about implementing the same principles as the first 8 games of the season?
Well, I mean, obviously, you got to stay with your same, principle. It's a smaller field, but you make some adjustment, and we all know it's not one team is playing on it; it's both teams. So there has to be a little bit of adjustment, but it's still football, not much.
Lawrence just said it's still football, so we're going to try to play our way, but you have to make adjustments to the field, and we've worked a little bit on that this week at practice with some adjustments. It's going to be a tight field, but we'll make it a lot of fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, player availability for tomorrow, Lorne, and if you're gonna probably use the same 3 stars forwards that you used in the last games.
Yeah, we haven't decided on a lineup yet. We're just still evaluating all that kind of stuff. So, we'll go through our last training session and just come out and sit with the coaching staff and make some decision who we're going to start out with.
And player availability, everybody's available for tomorrow?
No, I mean, there's some still players who are questionable. So we have to also go through our, injury report list and look at it and just see who's ready to go. I mean, we won't know that yet until some decision will be made tomorrow.
Any other questions in the room? Joe?
Yeah, Alyssa, if I may, just busy summer potentially ahead. I think you talked about the importance of this game, wanting to be back. Some people would say it's just a regular season game, look ahead to the Summer Olympics or something. Why are you so confident in the need to push for the availability tomorrow?
Because I care about this team and I want to help this team win games, and I think, I want to be out there with my teammates, and you never want to be injured. You never want to be on the sideline. And obviously, I've done what I can to be supporting the team from the side and not staying involved, and like I said, working hard to get back. But again, I just have, I care a lot about this team. I want to be out there with my teammates and competing and trying to win games. I think we have a special group that's been doing well so far this season, and obviously there's been some bumps along the road, and it's never going to be perfect, but I think that, I want to be out there with my teammates.
Any last questions in the room?
Hey guys, LT Red Stars Report. I had a question for Alyssa. You've played in stadiums across the world with tens of thousands of fans supporting your teams. What do you say to some of these young players who have probably only experienced those kinds of numbers at away matches so far in their careers?
Just tell them to enjoy it. Honestly, I think it's such, whenever you have so many fans and so many, the cheering and the noise, it just makes it more fun to play. It makes it more fun. The atmosphere, the environment, you can feed off of that. And I think it's really just about, soaking it all in and enjoying the moment. And, like Lorne said, as soon as you kick off, it's back to, you rely on your teammates around you. It's still just a game, and you're still playing the same game that you've played every single week. And you fall back on your preparation, and, you just enjoy it. You've got your other teammates on the field with you that always, have your back, and it's just going to be one of those things where probably the walkout is probably going to be the most maybe butterflies for some players that haven't experienced that before. But again, as soon as the whistle blows and you kind of zone into the game, you hear it and you feed off of it, but you just got to soak it in and enjoy the moment.
And Emmanuel, do you have any updates on tickets sold for the match?
If you can hear me, because I don't know if these microphones can pick me
Yeah,
up.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. We're seeing a surge in the last few days. We're getting really close to the record. We're gonna let the actual number be a surprise come game day. So stay tuned. But yes, we are seeing a surge in these last few days. So appreciate everyone's effort in that, because you guys play a good part in that as well.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. Since people can hear me, Theo, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go.
Thanks so much for doing this. I have one question for each person, just the same question for everyone. I'd love to know what your favorite stadium you've ever played in or coached in is, and then maybe on Saturday night after the Wrigley game, I can ask the same question and see if Wrigley supersedes it. But for now, I'd just like to know what your favorite crowd or what your favorite stadium is down the line, all four of you.
I can start. You guys probably have to think about it a little more. You've played in a lot of stadiums. I would say, I'm not trying to be biased, but I really have enjoyed playing at PayPal Park. It is our inaugural season, our fans and our community and the support that we have seen has been unreal. It's been overwhelming. I remember the first home game that we had, you kind of have to cross this bridge to get onto the field. And when we crossed that bridge, we had immediate chills because to your left and to your right, there were thousands of fans and you couldn't even see like the cement or the walking paths. And that just really ingrained like, holy crap, like this is real. Like we have so much support. The Bay Area is behind us. And when you're playing on that stadium, on that field, like you're just overwhelmed by the loudness. Like the only way I can describe it is chaos, and the environment is so electric. And it's just been such a fun thing to experience. This is my 6th year in the league, and I haven't really experienced anything like that, especially being at home at a home game. So it's so surreal, and it's just great to be a part of a club that I feel like has really tried to grasp all these people's minds and souls and hearts. And yeah, it's just been a great place to play.
It's the same for me. PayPal has been absolutely incredible. And the fact that those fans have been coming day in, day out after all of our games and supporting us. Kayla said it, it's been electric. The kids that are coming out and they stay hours, and we're talking about a couple of hours after the games, they're staying out there for our players, and it's something that we haven't seen, well actually I haven't seen in the women's game in a long time. So just the fact that we get to play there in front of our fans has been a little bit surreal, and it's exciting. So Kayla said it all.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds like a loaded question. Is it just NWSL stadium, or we're talking about stadium all over the world?
All over the world.
Well, I mean, I like the Bay. The Bay is fantastic, but I always enjoy playing in Kingston, Jamaica, at the Office, National Stadium, Jamaica, when it's full.
I would say I have a hard time picking.
It's gonna be hard for you. I feel like you have so many.
I have been, I mean, truthfully, just very, very fortunate to play in a lot of really, really cool stadiums, both here in the United States and abroad. I think anytime you play, and we got to play here, I mean, playing at the Rose Bowl was unreal. Our first game back from the 2019 World Cup was kind of insane. Had the opportunity to play at Maracanã Stadium in front of 90,000 fans as a 19-year-old kid in Brazil, having Marta run past me the whole time, which wasn't so much fun, but the stadium itself was really cool. And just like the passion of the fans in Brazil. Playing at Wembley a couple years ago was sold-out crowd against England. But I will say the loudest stadium that I've probably ever played in was playing against France in Paris in the 2019 World Cup. Was somehow my nephew fell asleep in like the 84th minute. I'm like, but that stadium, the energy in it was, that was definitely one of the more memorable ones for sure.
Thanks, Theo.
Thank you so much, and that's the challenge for Wrigley on tomorrow.
Thanks, Theo. Kiro, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Question for Alyssa and Lorne. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumors surrounding the team's future at SeatGeek Stadium. The Red Stars have created a home for themselves at that venue, there's no doubt about it. But does the idea of perhaps playing in Chicago proper more often excite you?
Yeah, I mean, that would be exciting. I mean, I think Laura, I can't answer the question to the fullest of what's going on, but I think Laura Ricketts and Karen Leeds were working their, I would say, other words, but they're working hard to make sure that we can get some, something in the city where it's a lot easier for the masses to attend. So I would leave that to them, but it would be great if we could, it would up the attendance for sure. And, that's what the game is all about. People coming into the game, and especially young people, coming from wherever they come from, church or a bar, and come to a game and enjoy themselves. So, I mean, it would be great.
Yeah, I think it's probably something, question a little bit above my pay grade, but I would say as a player, I think it would be great to have a stadium in the city. I think even having been a fan coming to games here at Wrigley or going to Bears games or going to different things, there's, I've taken the Red Line to get to the games. It's so much easier just to kind of get around, and you get around in Wrigleyville and you've got bars and restaurants and you can feel the energy around the stadium even prior to game, post game. So I think that's what being in a city does. I think that's what that energy does and that environment does. So I think just from that perspective, it would be amazing to be down in the city and just have it be more of like an event rather than just a game.
Thanks, Kiro.
Thank you.
Any other people remote have a question? Please use the raise your hand function. And no more questions in the room. All right, we'll call it there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And for people in the room who just want to hang out, we can show you a little bit of the field from the concourse. Thanks, everybody. Have a reporting out shortly.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You thought he was going to give the lineup, didn't you?